Hey everyone, it's Anthony Onesto, and this is my AI in HR Today drop. Subscribe, do not miss a future blog post or podcast. Today I'm talking about AI's legal woes, and in fact, might not be its worst enemy, but maybe its greatest ally. And this is regarding my latest article called Heretofore Navigating the AI Legal Challenges. One of my favorite legal terms is heretofore. So, anyway. I just wrote last week that change is the only constant, and now it's moving at accelerated rates. As of today, the most significant and rapidly evolving change is the crazy rise of artificial intelligence. We're no longer talking about robots taking over factory floors. We're talking about AI revolutionizing all jobs, including HR and recruiting. With most significant market impacts, we typically see a surge in legal challenges, and AI is no different. So I'll dive into why legal challenges facing AI in HR and recruiting aren't necessarily a roadblock, but rather a catalyst for improvement. You're going to learn when we talk here about the landscape of AI related lawsuits and biases and discover why a full restriction of usage is not the answer, folks. Instead, we need a human in the loop approach. And that is going to be crucial for navigating this exciting, yet sometimes chaotic future. But first, my favorite part, let's look at the numbers. And a specific note here to call out is on the statistics on lawsuit. Specific statistics on lawsuits solely focused on AI and HR and recruiting are really still emerging. So let's look at the broader trends and predictions that highlight the increasing legal scrutiny around AI. First and foremost, which really gave way to this particular blog article, is the Workday lawsuit. A federal judge has ruled that a class action lawsuit against Workday can proceed, alleging its AI powered hiring software discriminated against applicants over the age of 40, potentially involving hundreds of thousands of job seekers. Now, we've seen bias in AI resume screening. A University of Washington study found that AI tools favored specific names 85% of the time over other names in resume screening, highlighting significant racial bias. And within the regulatory landscape, as of 2024, over 400 AI related bills were introduced across the United States legislators, with 16 states enacting legislation related to AI, reflecting a growing legal scrutiny of AI applications, including those in hiring. Now, I know what you're thinking. Lawsuits, regulations, it's the end of AI as we know it. And to that, I say, history is always going to be the greatest teacher. When the internet first emerged, and I've been around, the gray hair shows it, mobile phones became ubiquitous and social media became deeply ingrained in our daily lives. What do you think happened when that all happened? Yep, lawsuits went up. Why? Because these new technologies were new, they were unregulated, and to be honest, somewhat messy. But did those lawsuits actually stop progress? Nope. They pushed us to be better, to think more critically about the technology, and to advocate for necessary legislation in the end. Now, we're still waiting for a lot of that legislation. But the point here, folks, is the legal battles help redefine and strengthen the technology, holding its owners and users accountable. But the problem isn't AI, folks, it's us. Well, sometimes. But let's be real for a second. Human recruiting and selection, it's far from perfect to begin with. We've got our biases that are baked into our current systems. Most companies, even the ones that think they're really good and got the secret sauce for interviewing, are mediocre at best. Do we know what our leaders are actually asking in these interviews? Are those scorecards ever actually filled out? The problem isn't AI itself. It's when we bring the inherent flaws of the human experience into AI, creating what Kathy O'Neill, one of my favorite authors, coined weapons of math, MATH destruction, in her book. We've seen firsthand how AI powered system can perpetuate existing biases if the data it learns from is already biased. For example, based on available data, women occupy only about 26% of positions in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. In Silicon Valley, publicly available reports indicate that approximately 70%, 17% of Google's tech workers are women, while the figures for Facebook and Yahoo stand around 15% each. These numbers highlight the existing disparities that AI, if not carefully implemented, could actually amplify. Now, what's the partnership? It's the human AI partnership. We are better together. The crucial part, it's never AI or humans. That's a false dichotomy. As highlighted in one of my other favorite books, Race Against the Machines, there will always be things machines do best, things that humans do best, and then there's the magic that happens when you combine the two. Currently, we require human intervention to guide and refine AI capabilities. However, AI will surpass humans in specific tasks. Think about it. A human recruiter trying to scan infinite data points across LinkedIn, countless databases, and the entire internet to find the truly most qualified candidate, it's an impossible feat. With their ability to process vast amounts of data and identify patterns, the machines will augment humans in identifying potential candidates. While current tools on LinkedIn are somewhat helpful, they have their limitations. The future of recruiting with AI at the helm will leverage this incredible data processing power to surface candidates that companies might otherwise miss. The cautionary tale is what's happening right now with Workday. So make sure you have a human in the loop during the process to ensure fairness and educate the algorithms. Let's embrace the disruption. The impact of AI in recruiting is very clear. Yes, there will be lawsuits, and yes, there will be an increase in legal activity. We've seen that in the past. But this isn't a sign to slam the brakes on AI. I've already seen that in comments. Instead, it's a sign that we're pushing the boundaries. We're learning and forcing ourselves to build more robust, ethical, and transparent tools. This pressure will ensure that AI tools, their creators, and their users are held accountable, ultimately making the recruiting process fairer and more efficient for everyone involved. There will be advice and discussions now to avoid the disruption due to legal challenges, but I believe we should embrace it and use it to build a better business impacting future for HR and recruiting. It's my latest drop, AI in HR today. We'll see you next time.